Peace, love, health, and well vibe, tribe. Like and subscribe. Help your boy break away from 9 to 5. My name is not important, but what is the fact that I'm here on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center of the healing. Understand that when you come here, this is spa day for the soul, chicken noodle soup for the spirit, manny and petty day for the ego. Understand that this is a hard hat area and self development is the construction. So, with that being said, if you would like a free or donation based reading, welcome back. Only thing you have to do is type a Libra scale in the chat to be added to the list. After the collective reading, today we will be I'm gonna do an experiment starting today. So we will do the daily collective reading here live, and then after that I will get to the list. Okay, so what's the proper way to say your name? Ranu? I don't know how to say your name, but welcome in. All right, so we're going to do a two-piece and a biscuit, what I like to call a two-piece and a biscuit. All right, Rana. All right, so the two-piece and a biscuit is as follows, okay? So we're going to, all right, so the first card we got here is going to be the Five of Cups as the current energy of the day. All right, now I think the significant thing about this Five of Cups is it's a continuation of how can you say this? Well, let me not say that there, not a continuation. The Five of Cups here represents conflict and loss in the realm of the emotions. So that's talking about um possible relationship, um but it's anything that is connected to the heart, right? This could be a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one. But what is represented here, hidden in the card, um, hidden in the card here is the hidden ability to move forward from whatever hurt us in the past. Remember this card, every card in the suit follows a linear, it follows a story. It follows, it's sequential, right? So I think the key here is understanding why there's two sets of cups here. Cameraman, if you don't mind zooming in, please double tap that screen, y'all. Welcome into the daily collective reading. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you. So I think the key to understanding this card here is actually understanding the two number sets, if you will. We got the three, which represents growth and expansion. So the three comes after the two, which was the meeting, right? And then the three was the growth. Um, so what happened was whatever this relationship or whatever this connection was that we thought was going to bud, it didn't actually come to fruition, but it left us um at the table wondering why, wondering what if, wondering what can you do better next time, right? Wondering what can you do better if you got a second chance, whatever. The thing about these cups is that even though that situation didn't work, it's still two cups standing. So that remember the tools is the decision making card, and the two um oftentimes tells us how we start is how we finish, right? Duality. And in the midst of the duality, conflict and loss and shedding of something that we once held special, um, the shedding of those things is a clearing. and it's a space for growth again. Um, just because the situation, circumstance, or the person is gone, that doesn't mean that the experience or what you hope to get is lost. Maybe just not with that person. You understand what I'm saying? So, again, in summary, like I was saying, the two here talks about a connection, right? And then the three talks about the growth of that connection. But the three cups being spilled over is saying that this connection kind of stalled out for whatever reason. And we kind of stuck in that three of swords energy, right? So let's get best course of action on how to move this energy out, right? I think it's going to be imperative that this card, gets, ooh, that was the three of swords too. That's funny. But I think it's going to be imperative to really, really, really check out this best course of action, because this five of swords can mean different. I mean, this five of cups can mean different things for different people. Uh, all right, so we got the king of wands reversed. Give me 1 second. Let me catch up to the chat. All right, let me get the chat pulled up, y'all. Okay, so the best course of action is going to be the king of wands reversed. So in this upright position, remember the king of wands. Well, the king, all of the kings are visionaries, right? They're forward thinkers. They're great planners. But the king of wands, his baseline or what he rely on for um his guidance, his strength is going to be his fire, his passion. Um the king of wands in his upright position is a person who's very cool, calm, collected, even though they are very fiery and passionate, right? They tread very light on that balance. So whenever you get the king of wands in reverse, this is hmm, this is corrupt power, right? In general, what this card could mean. This could be a person who might be like a loose cannon. They might be like a bull in a china shop. This could represent somebody who's not coming from an honest place. Um, or they might not have good intentions. But I don't think that's the best course of action. That's just the energy of the card. So what I think the best course of action is for the daily collective reading is actually allowing that fire to burn. I think that a lot of us believe that being good leaders and good visionaries and good friends, family members, is biting your tongue, being passive and stuff like that. And what I'm feeling here or what I'm hearing is that now is not the time to bite your tongue. Now is not the time to be passive. Now is the time to still be diplomatic in the sense like the king of wands, but in this case, the you're going to be I want to say this very clear. You're going to be very judicious in who, what, when, where, and how you do what you do. But when the opportunity arises, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to match energy, or you're going to have to let your presence be known and say, hey, I'm not a sucker. I'm not a chump. I'm not a pushover. I'm not a whatever. Right. So again, some of us are good at, like, just getting our point across without, how can I say this? Some of us are very good at getting our point across without being rude and and dishonest or distrue to who we are. And my thing is that, so you might, the situation or circumstance I speak of, you might have to raise your voice. You might have to stand your ground. You might even have to state the obvious on how somebody is treating you. But you stating the obvious is going to open up the door for you to be treated how you want when you want. All right. So let me go get my coffee. I'll be right back. If anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. If not, then we can go open up the floor for Rana. Um, so give me 1 second. I'll be back. I'll be back, mate. I'm back. All right. So what's going on, y'all? Come on in, come on in, come on in. We just finished the daily collective reading, and now we about to get into some individual readings, man. So we got one person here who was waiting patiently. If you don't mind making yourself known, and we can proceed. All right. So did you have a question or something, or hold on, my mouse, I can't. Okay, there it go. Yeah, how can I help you, Rana? So let's see. What is I doing? I am going to need a faster way to do this. I know it's a faster way. I don't want to mess it up. Woke up really late. I used to wake up. I don't like the way it tastes. Mm, I'm gonna name this one Unleash the Fire. Unleash the fire. Unleash the fire, baby. It's time to unleash the fire. All right, big general. All right, so we're gonna give you a daily collective reading. Or you just had a three-piece jump out the deck. Okay. Very interesting three-piece. So the first card you got here for your daily collective, I mean your daily individual reading is going to be the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So this is going to be a divine new beginning in the earth realm. Now remember, the earth realm doesn't just mean money, but money is very important because money is the key to survival, basically, right? But more than that, though, the Ace of Pentacles or the Pentacle itself represents the physical manifestation of the things that we love, honor, and cherish. Okay, so that could be people, places, and things, but that's also um when I say things, that could be the things that money can buy, like cars, clothes, etc. All right, so I want us to think bigger than money, right? It could be a home, whatever. Second card you have is going to be the Fool card. Now this is a very, very auspicious connection, really, between these two cards. And the reason why I say that is because look at look at the Ace of Pentacles as a fresh start, as a brand new day. Right? No, take that back. Look at the Fool card as a fresh start, as a brand new day. Right? So the combination of the two is saying that um you you you're building something, right? Ace of Pentacles is telling me that you're building something, something that's going to be long term, something like career or home, or like you planning for the future right now. Now, the Fool card is telling me that in this leg of the journey, you're going to either feel like or you starting to feel like you have more control. Maybe you're not seeing the results that you want yet, but you feel like you got a grip on things, right? And then the Nine of Pentacles is going to be here for the wish fulfillment, right? So the nine is fulfillment, and then the Pentacles represents again that earth element. So if you can see above their heads, right, there's three times three, so that represents divine order, right? So that means that whatever this vision of the future that you have, I want you, first of all, I want you to make sure you're very, very detailed, even to the point to understanding your work schedule, right? Future work schedule, future eating schedule, everything, future meal prep, whatever. I want you to just daydream and come up with a game plan, right? Figure out where you want to live, um, where you know what could be the school name of your kids, your future kids, right? What is the elementary school name, right? What class are they going to graduate high school from? I want you to get very, very detailed, and I want you to be very, very focused on what that vision of the future look like, because this is going to be the key of fulfillment. Now we already know that no matter if we write in a letter to Santa Claus, or we praying to God, or we manifesting from the universe, right? Or we calling on the fairies, ancestors, whatever. No matter what, we already know that we can't always have whatever we want, when we want, how we want. That's fine, right? But the thing is that if there's ways that you can get as close as possible, why not take it? And sometimes that requires a little bit of patience, right? I always urge people to be cautious and to be patient with when we get pentacles in a reading, because I think I look at pentacles like a seed, in which sometimes some of the, like, say for example, an apple tree, you're not going to get a harvest in the first season, right? Sometimes you get a fruit tree, you won't get a good harvest for 7 seasons or 10 seasons, or and don't have a drought or something like that. So I want you to be focused long term right now, and I want you to understand who you are, where you are right now, and I want you to just don't give up on bridging the gap between where you at today and where you going in the future. Enjoy the process. It's going to be long. Some days it's going to feel like it's going by too fast. Some days it's going to feel like it's going by too too short, but you definitely can do it. Something telling me to pull you another card. Something is pulling on my focus. Something is pulling on my attention. Two people, two likes. Double tap that screen, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. What's going on, y'all? I just completed the daily collective reading, and now we doing an individual daily reading, an individual general reading. Hopefully, well, I'm happy that I can explain it, and I'm happy that you can understand me. But yeah, so I'm going to pull the best course of action to see. That is so funny. How can we move on? How can we move forward, rather? How can we bring this into fruition? And how you can bring it to fruition is the Six of Swords. Okay. So remember, the three in tarot is growth and expansion, in short, right? So when you double that, you get harmony, right? The six represents harmony. It's a few other words we can interchange with that, but oftentimes I like to look at the six simply as a harmony card, a love card, a balance card, a peace card, a harmony card. Um, the Six of Swords is harmony in the mental space. So I think what this card is saying is that we're going to have to mentally move on from some past events. The first word that came to my mind was pain, but something is telling me that we have to move forward from something on the mental plane. I know oftentimes when people feel emotional ties to memories, that we want the emotional pain to leave before we move on. And it doesn't work like that. How it actually work is that we every day we practice um not being caught in those negative thought loops, and then eventually the negative thought loops will not be so relevant and prevalent in our everyday life. Eventually, I won't say cease to exist, but the connection to them, the energy that flows through them won't be as strong, and that connection won't be as open and fluid, and you won't be channeling, PTSD, depression, sadness, shoulda, coulda, woulda, all of that bad stuff, right? So again, the best course of action for you to build the life that you want and to really take control of your path, like the Fool card demonstrates, is going to be how well you can harmonize your mind, right? I'm not saying that you're never going to get mad. I'm not saying that you're ever going to get sad. I'm not saying that you're never going to suffer from PTSD. But the challenge is, how well can you get back even, kill? What I mean is, if you become too optimistic, then you can miss out on possible things that can go wrong. If you be too pessimistic, you can overlook opportunities, right? That could lead to success. But no matter if you gain something or lose something, no matter if you're happy or sad, how well can you get back focused? And that's going to be key in the transformation, because when you remain focused and you remain balanced, right, whatever your natural frequency is, whether it's contentment or a relaxed state or a happy state, but whatever your natural balanced state is, you got to be able to get back to that 0 point in order to really navigate the ups and downs of every day. You know what I'm saying? In sports, they always say it's good to have a short memory, right? It's always about the next play, right? You can't get caught up celebrating the last play, and you can't get caught up. being upset about the last play when it don't go your way, because then you won't be mentally present for the next play that's going to come your way. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I got for you. But it's something about a house. When I see a pinnacle, I see a house. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for coming in. It's okay if you can't donate. Just let a commercial play for 30 seconds. One commercial a day. Let it play for 30 seconds, right? And if you really want to support the channel, interact with that commercial. You don't have to sign up for any lists. You don't have to purchase anything. But if you interact with that commercial, then guess what? It helps your boy out in the algorithm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You welcome, champ. You welcome. All right, y'all. So the list is now open. If anybody wanted to hop on and get a quick little read. All right, y'all. I think I'm about to go ahead and shut him down. Um. Well, I just want to thank everybody who came through. We had what? Let's see. We had a grand total of 66 people. I have a yes or no question. I'll try my best to answer your yes or no question. Really, yes or no's is really out of the realm of tarot. But if you ask your question, maybe we can do something though. Maybe we can do something. I do have a method of yes or no, but oftentimes people like to blend the yes and no and tarot together. And yeah, so just go ahead and post your question and we'll see. Welcome in, y'all. Double tap that screen, hit that like button. Go ahead. What is my answer? It's continue. I feel like you know that answer, to be honest with you. I feel like I feel like maybe she honestly, I feel like maybe she did in the past and maybe she trying to quit because I feel like maybe she feel like she becoming obsessed over it. I don't think it's the like to get an edge or a upper hand. I really just think it's just to know what's going on. I think she just want to know what's going on. I think. Well, is she a fan of tarot? I think that's a way both of y'all might be. I think at one point that was a way both of y'all was getting messages about each other. It was almost like tarot was telepathically communicating for y'all. What app is that? Mm. Thank y'all for liking the video. Thank y'all for coming in. The answer is yes. I don't think I think she's trying to stop. I think she's trying to stop getting them. I think at one point she kind of got obsessed with it a little bit and she started feeling guilty, like spying, is what I'm picking up on. I think maybe she seen somebody else like spying and she felt guilty and was like, nah, I can't be like this person. I'm not crazy like this person. It's like she compare herself to other people a lot. Do that sound like her? Like she compare herself a lot and she try to, you know, use that as motivation to be like good person, bad person. Your ex is a man? My bad. I thought you said she. My bad. You said he. Oh, your ex Sala. Oh, my bad. I don't know. Oh, that's why that energy feel like that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm the girl. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense now. Okay. Well, yeah. So the thing I was feeling was that he wasn't I'm sorry, he possibly was getting readings, but he didn't want to feel like he was obsessing. Like he wanted to I don't think he wanted to stop because he was stop caring or anything like that. I think he stopped because he didn't want to be upset or suffer or be sad. Like he saw other people and how they was acting, and he was like, "No, I don't want to act like that. I don't want to be like that guy, or I don't want to be like that chick." Anything else you want to know? What since you here? I don't like turning people away. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your career. Where you headed? What do you want in the far future? Cause this might be that question might be with your general reading. Because I don't know. So the Ace of Pentacles could represent the beginning of a new relationship that's with a person, a place, or a thing. Who telling you that? Readers telling you that? Well, what I would say is that you got to choose the path that you would do for free. Choose the path that you would do for free. And the reason why I say that is because if you would do it for free, then you can do it on a bad day for money. You see what I'm saying? Because just think about people who own like a nonprofit organization. Yes, they probably get like a livable wage. They probably get paid like a amount that they can have a decent living, like a decent suburban living. But most of the money is used for specific reasons. That's why it's called a nonprofit. What's up, sis? So because of the damn, I'm starting to forget what I was saying. So because of the nonprofit, why did I bring up the nonprofit? You said, "Oh, you was gonna be famous." Oh. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think about a person who run a nonprofit or a person who volunteer at the. Say if it's a person at a temple or a church or something, and they volunteer once a week, every week for the last 20 years. Yeah, they might get a free meal or here and there or something like that, but they don't really get paid for the amount of time that they actually spend. Sorry, can you do four so you can make the chat bot go? But but we admire that person who volunteer every week. You know what I'm saying? Because they dedicated to the cause. And I think that if people take that approach to finding their calling or their destiny or their path, then it'd be a lot clearer. It might be harder, right? It might not be as lucrative, but it'd be rewarding internally, right? I always say when you want to figure out what you want to do, especially if you consider yourself like a spiritual person or like a healer or whatever you want to be in the future, um, it's two things. Find a hole or find a void in the world and fill it, and find out what you would do for free and find a way to make money from it. So what I mean about the void thing is, say for example, for me, I was abused as a kid, so I understand that from firsthand. I understand that it's a world human rights and all of that stuff is a worldwide thing. People being abused and oppressed and growing up in poor conditions and all of that stuff like I did is not just to my local neighborhood or my local city. It's a worldwide thing. So in my point of view, I can see that void in the world. Some people, for example, like take up the fight of women's rights and they believe that women should fight for equal rights or something like that. That would be the void, which is the woman or the problem, right? The void could be the problem. And we just accept that problem and we try to handle it as best as we can. That's what I really think a lot of people would benefit from. Especially if you put money second. If you put your heart first and money second, you'll always be happy and you will always make money. I didn't. I don't think it's a link for this live. So for some people, they love animals, right? They want to work at a shelter. They work at the zoo. Um, some people really like the zoo and they be a tour guide at the zoo, right? But some people they want to work behind the scenes, right? It really just depends on, can I help you make a decision? All right, Ronald. Well, Ronald, you can always hit me up for a free consultation. And you can always hit me up if you got a question or something like that. All my information is there. Uh, should I stream? If you want to have me on, then yeah. If you rather talk than doing the chat thing, I don't mind. Empress told me to join her chat, but I'm blocked, so she wouldn't even know if I joined anyways. But yeah, I'll join for a wee little bit. For a wee bit. But you got enough subscribers. You got enough subscribers that you can go live on the YouTube app. You don't need StreamYard to invite people. You can only do split screen. I don't understand why. I don't understand how YouTube is the biggest video platform in the world of all time. Right? Algorithm, check this. And the app is just so limited. Even the website is just so limited. Like you could do a whole panel on Instagram. Instagram started off with pictures. And you could do all types of stuff on Instagram on they live. You could do all types of stuff. I just don't understand how YouTube is doing this. How they've been getting away with this for so long. Because they've been like, and right before I joined YouTube, they raised how much money that it used to be 30%. Now they take 40%. So y'all taking more people money, but y'all not giving us the tools to make more money. This is why Twitch, all that stuff is growing because YouTube is stuck. And I don't understand how a Google product, which is the biggest video platform in the world, is almost like it's a dinosaur when it was a leader in the industry. Like, I don't know. They need to make me creative director of um creator interface or something. I don't know. Creator user interface. Creator director of creator user interface of YouTube. Because there is no way that they be sending me all these emails about, yeah, join the panel, tell us your opinion, and ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing going on. So you put too much sauce on your food. I need some food. I ain't even got no food. But yeah, though you can do split screen on YouTube. So then that means I gotta shut my stream down and then restart a whole nother stream. Peace, love, health, and wealth. Anything else, put it back on the shelf. Why? Because I ain't buying it. And you shouldn't either. Peace. I love you. Bye bye.